Simple probability. This is going to be situations where what's the chance of something happening, or what is uh, the probability of something going to be ordered. So say people are ordering pizza at a restaurant. What's the probability? What's the chance that they're going to order a cheese pizza as opposed to any other kind of pizza on the menu? Things like this. We're going to be able to calculate that. And I'm going to show you how here in some of the formal notations of how you would be able to read it as well. So this is just going to be review of what you've already learned in previous grades, and then just to give you some examples so it's fresh in our mind before you go through and start your coursework. So the probability is always going to be between 0 and 1. 0 and 100%. 100% probability it's going to rain today, or we have an 80% probability it's going to rain today. Or chance, same thing. The terms are, you can interchange them, no problem. What that means, though, is that we're going to have a 0 to 100% chance. That also means that we are going to have our probability somewhere in between 0 and 1, because a percentage is just a decimal, correct? So if we wanted 99%, we would represent that as 0.99. Right? And 100% would be represented as 1. So just remember that the probability is going to be in a percentage between 0 and 100%. If it's in a number, it's going to be between 0 and 1. Now, occasionally they're going to want you to leave it in fraction form, which is the ratio, because probability is just a ratio of what's going to happen compared to what could happen. So let's just go through some examples here, and I'm sure it will make some more sense. So suppose a die is rolled. Well, a die, it's just a dice. It's a six-figured object. So we know that it's out of six sides, right? What is the probability of rolling an odd number? Well, all of the things that we could roll, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 on a normal die that we would get out of a game, are odds. So we have 1, 3, and 5. Those are odd numbers. So 1, 2, 3. 3 out of 6 of the sides are going to be odd. Well, we can simplify this, so we need to 1/2. So if they would like you to have the probability labeled as a fraction or as the ratio, you would leave it as 1/2. Well, if they want you to label it as the percentage, you would do 1 divided by 2, which is 50% probability. You just need to decide or read what they're asking, how they want you to answer it, especially when your homework is going to be on IXL. They are very clear in what their expectations are for you in answering. All right, so here's another example. Suppose a bag contains 4 red, 3 green, 6 blue, and 2 yellow marbles. All right, so what's our total number of marbles here? We have 4 red, 3 green, 6 blue, 2 yellow. That's going to give us a 7, 8, 9, 15. 15 total. So we know that our denominator is going to be 15 out of our ratio because there's 15 total. So what is the probability a randomly chosen marble will not be yellow? Okay, so there's 2 different ways that you can do this. You know the probability of drawing the marble is going to be 1. And we know that there's 2 yellows, so 2 out of 15. So if we subtract 1 minus 2 out of 15, we're going to be left with 13 out of 15. That's going to be our probability that it's not going to be yellow. Another way you can do it is you can just add up everything that isn't yellow and put that as your numerator. So you're going to have 4 plus 3 is 7, plus 6, that's going to be 13. Either way, you're going to get the same answer. So if it's 13 out of 15, if they want you to answer in a fraction form, or bust out your calculator, and it's going to be approximately 87%. That's going to be your probability. All right, easy peasy. I think you guys are going to do well at this. All right, so the table below shows that the results of an experiment which a number cube was rolled. Find the experimental probability of rolling a 3. Experimental probability is asking you for a ratio. So the first thing we need to figure out is how many times was the cube rolled. So this is the outcome. This is what number was rolled on the cube, and this is how many times each number was rolled. So we're going to add up all of this right here. So 6 plus 4 plus 7 plus 3 plus 4 plus 1 is 25. We know that 25 is going to be our denominator. So the experimental probability of rolling a 3. Well, we look over here. Our outcome was a 3. How many times did it happen? 7. 7 out of 25 times. That can't be simplified because 7 is prime. So if they wanted it as a percentage, we would say 28%. Either or of those answers. Now, when it goes into a little bit more of the formal way of asking for the probability of something, we are just given this statement right here that a die is rolled, find the probability of each outcome. So what's the probability that it was less than 3? That's what this means. The P of and then whatever is in the parentheses is what they're asking. So the probability that it was less than 3. So our 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, less than 3, we have 2 options there. So our probability is 2 out of 6, which can be simplified to 1 over 3, which is going to give us 33%. What's our probability that it's going to be even? Well, let's change our colors here. We still have 1 through 6 labeled here, so it's 2, 4, 6. Our probability is going to be 3 over 6, which equals 1/2, which equals 50%. What is our probability that it is greater than 2? Well, let's list them out again. All right, so greater than 2, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 6, which can be simplified to 2 over 3, which is going to be 66%. All right, still talking about that cube here, or that die. What's the probability that it's prime? Well, 1 is prime, 3, 2, 5. So 4 out of our 6 things again. Same answer as last time, 66%, 2 out of 3. All right, what's our probability that it's going to be 4 or 2? If we're going to roll a 4 or a 2. Well, that's 2 out of the 6. Can be simplified to 1 over 3, which is going to give us our 33%. And what is the probability that as an integer is going to be rolled? Well, it looks like 6 out of 6, because those are all integers, which is going to be 1, which is going to give us our 100%. Again, you guys are going to do great at this. I'm positive of it. It's just a refresher course for sure, and just another way of the formal way of writing it. So this P and then whatever's in the parentheses is what it's asking about over the situation. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, contact me via Google Classroom, or Remind. You can always call as well, and I will be sure to get back to you.